Now this is how paid access is meant to be done. Hello my friends, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be doing a game review on Find Everything, which before we even talk about anything, I can say 100% without a shadow of a doubt, this game is 100% worth the purchase price. If you like platformers, if you enjoy Roblox platformers, and you have some money put aside, it's only 250 Robux, which is not that much, all things considered. The game is still in development, so even with everything that's already here, it's only going to get better. And just if you like platformers and you haven't played this, you really should. I'm genuinely super excited to get on here and talk about this because especially after the whole Tower World fiasco, which is the very definition of how paid access should not be done, this game, on the contrary, is basically the polar opposite. It had an immense amount of effort put into it. It's one of the most games on Roblox that I've probably ever played, which makes perfect sense considering that it has an upfront cost. The point is, the game is really good, and we're going to talk about it today. With that said, I want to talk about the first section, which is the most important section of the review, and that's the gameplay. I'm really glad that I stuck with Find Everything because if I'm going to be perfectly honest, the first 80 things that you have to find in the game were kind of a slog and were getting me a little bit frustrated. Basically, the premise of Find Everything is that it's a collect-a-thon type of game. You go to an area and there's a list of objects and things that you can collect, and you go through and you pick them up. All of the things in the game have different tasks related to getting them, whether it be solving a puzzle, doing a parkour challenge, you get the idea. Now, the reason that I say the beginning of the game is a real slog and started to make me question whether I wanted to even continue, and then at the end of the game, I finished everything 100%, well, that's because they lock off a lot of your movement abilities, or correction, all of your movement abilities, until you find a specific number of things. Now, this really kinda sucks. When you start off the game, all you can do is jump. It's effectively an obby game. The first milestone you hit is pretty early, and that lets you do a double jump, which opens up a lot of areas. Then when you hit the next milestone, you're able to do a roll as well as a long jump out of the roll, which opens up even more possibilities. And finally, the last milestone unlocks the air dash, which really completes the movement moveset that you have access to. Once you have all the abilities unlocked, the game feels fantastic to move around with. The problem is that before you get all the abilities unlocked, it just feels kinda bad. And the reason it feels kind of bad is because you'll go to an area and you'll see a thing that you could potentially get, but you can't get it because you don't have the ability unlocked that you need in order to get up there. I know this is a me problem, and I'm aware that there are some people who don't think this way, but I also know that there's a lot of people in my camp where when it comes to these sort of Metrovania backtracking deals, yeah, not a huge fan. It really sucks to go through an entire level looking for stuff and constantly hit walls that I know I can't get past until I collect a certain number of things. And so I'm hitting walls while not having access to the full moveset and the movement not feeling totally up to par until I finally unlock all of the abilities. But like I said, once you do get all of the abilities, that's where things really turn up. So I will say right off the bat that if you start playing the game and you don't quite get to the air dash and you're feeling a bit dejected, I'm telling you right now, it is absolutely worth it. Keep going, and once you get the air dash, things will be a lot better. The thing that's kind of shitty about this system is I really don't think that there's any way that they can fix the problem because, well, for one, it's not necessarily a problem for a lot of people, and for two, there's things dedicated to the levels where you unlock these abilities, so they would have to do a whole bunch of jumping through hoops. It's just not likely. But at the end of the day, like I said, the movement when everything's unlocked is super smooth, it's satisfying to collect all the different things in the game, and the gameplay is solid. I had to put this on here because this game just oozes charm. It's so clear to me that the people behind this had such a great time creating it, and that sort of feeling of fun emanates out of the game and to the people playing itself, or at least it did for me. I guess the best way I could sort of describe it is it has that sort of Undertale level of charm to it. The characters that you speak to are witty and almost always have some funny, memey things to say, and the mix of 2D and 3D graphics is something that on paper should just seem low effort and lazy, but in practice works out phenomenally to the game's favor. There were just so many times when I was playing through the game where the game got a chuckle out of me or made me smile, and that's not something that a lot of games can really accomplish nowadays. Sometimes there are points when I feel like I've seen it all, and then I play games like this and I just haven't. To give you some examples of the things that got me, when I went into this house and there was this big fire going, if you walk into the fire, you obtain a thing, 3rd degree burns. Or there's this guy at the top of Thingsburg where if you go up there, he is 100% anti-jumping. He hates jumping. If you go in there and lie to him that you haven't jumped on the way up, he tracks how many jumps you've done since you last reached him. Not only that, but if you jump in his house, he gets pissed off and chucks you out the window. And the best part is if you do actually get up there without jumping, he'll give you his precious treasure, an A button. And the description of the A button discusses parallel universes, which if you know about the whole Pen and Koek meme, yeah, that's pretty funny. Of course, naturally, I would be remiss not to mention the Elden Ring reference here. I still need to get around to playing that game, but I absolutely loved their jabs at the whole lore wiki nonsense that the NPC in there talks about. There's the Tower Obby elitist who can't even complete a Tower Obby and is gatekeeping, and there's just so many more. There's so many funny in-jokes in here. I feel like sometimes the game was specifically targeted at me because I think there were very few of them that flew over my head. Now granted, not all of this stuff landed. I think the most frustrating part of the game, which I get is probably frustrating on purpose, but that doesn't mean it worked, was the Mario parody level. They made a haha funny Mario parody level, but it's just unfair for the sake of the joke, but it ends up just being annoying and unfair because it's annoying and unfair. And their joke of haha look Mario lol doesn't really hold up because the entire time that I was playing this section of the game, all I could think was, fuck you guys, Mario's still better than your game. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. So this joke is just sort of falling flat as all I do is get pissed off when I go through yet another random door and the random door kills me for the 15th time. Maybe it was a Kaizo Mario joke, I don't know, but it pissed me off and it didn't work. And there are a few others like this, but overall I think everything worked out. Now on the final note when it came to this stuff, as funny as all of this stuff was, there was a point that I got to where some of the stuff is a little bit cryptic. I think there were about 7 or 8 things at the end of the game that I couldn't find and I ended up having to look up. But regardless, I'm not super upset that there were 7 or 8 things that I couldn't find because I feel like out of 220, having 7 or 8 relatively cryptic ones, some of which weren't even that cryptic, I just missed them, is pretty reasonable. With that though, we're gonna move on. You guys know that I'm a sucker for original soundtracks, and this is pretty good. Some of the tracks for Find Everything are really, really good, some of them are just alright, but the general consensus is it's good, and I'm really, really glad that they decided to do an original soundtrack for the game. Take a listen for yourself. So, we come towards the end of the video where I need to talk about the final score of the game. One of the things that I haven't quite mentioned yet in any of my sections while talking about the game is just how much of a game there is here. I passingly mentioned that there are 220 things to collect, but what I didn't tell you was that I played the game for around 6 hours. This is a 6-hour Roblox game, which again, when you look at the purchase price, initially my mindset should be, I guess I'm getting sloppy, my mindset should be, yeah, it should be 6 hours if I'm paying for it. But the thing is, 250 Robux is akin to about $2.50, give or take, and a lot of games that cost way more than $2.50 have way less game to play here. Simply put, the value to gameplay is unmatched by a lot of games, and not just on Roblox. So with everything being considered, looking at the value to gameplay, the actual gameplay itself, and just how much effort went into this game, I think I can very, very comfortably give Find Everything an extremely high 8 out of 10. This is a well above average game, and without a shadow of a doubt worth your purchase. That being said, the only reason that it loses any points is that beginning part is really, really poorly paced, and I almost quit before I even got to the rest of the game. As I said, some of the things that you need to find are cryptic, as well as some of the sections in the game are just frustrating, seemingly for the point of being frustrating, which is kind of funny for a little bit and then just gets annoying. And then the most notable is just a bias part from me. I'm not a collectathon guy. I try my best not to let my own biases get in the way of looking at things objectively, but at the end of the day, for me personally, who's the person reviewing this game, collectathons are not my thing, and this doesn't do anything to the collectathon genre to make me really want to put it up to a high 9 or a 10. Please remember that I review my games based off of all games, not just Roblox games. If we were voting this on Roblox games alone, it would be a 10 out of 10. There are a few 10 out of 10 Roblox games that I've played. This, Deep Woken, and Titan Warfare immediately come to mind. But I don't rate games based on Roblox, I rate them based on all games. With all that said, go play this game if you've got the funds to do so. It is 100% worth it, and I'm wrapping up here. If you enjoyed the video, you can of course leave a like and subscribe. If you didn't, don't. And with all that being said, have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you guys next time. Fuck. Ugh. I hit the wrong fucking bind. Fuck. Why? Why? Fuck. Fuck you! Fucking son of a bitch. What? Why? Fuck. How fucking high up does this go? Fuck you. Fuck you, game. Fuck you! No! No. Fuck! I love this. This is so fun. I'm having a great time. Fucking bullshit. Bullshit that I didn't grab that. Oh, nope. Ugh! No, 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 why? Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck was that? Oh my god, I made it. Fucking finally. You're kidding, you're kidding, you're kidding. Save myself, okay. Okay. Holy fucking shit. It keeps going? No. Oh my god.